Hello everyone, my name is Duan. I am a graduate student from the Department of Psychology, Sun Yat-sen University. Today, I want to show you a research we have done recently, and the topic is about distraction effect in visual working memory. In our daily life, there are plenty of things in front of the eyes. However, the human visual system will only select the most information to attend. For example, if you are looking for your bag, you will shift all your attention to this bag while ignoring the other things. So smart, right? So that's our visual working memory. Visual working memory refers to our ability to temporarily store and manipulate information. Because of its limited capacity, visual working memory has a powerful attentional selection mechanism that can be used to focus on information that is most important and filter out other distractors. And previous research found that our visual working memory capacity is highly related to our ability to ignore the distractors. So, the distractor filtering mechanism is very important to investigate. And in this study, we focus on how the distractors influence our visual working memory. As we all know, in studies of visual working memory, sometimes distractors are presented during the encoding along with the targets, while in other time, distractors are shown during the delay. And previous research proved that distractors filtering out on both periods can successfully predict visual working memory performance. And more importantly, researchers found a unique contribution from both periods. So these results remind us there may be a dissociated mechanism underlying the distraction effect during these two different periods. So in the current study, we aim to understand the different influence of distractors on visual working memory performance during the encoding and delay. In our study, we adopted the continuous recall task to explore the distraction effect on the fidelity of visual working memory. Since this task can give us the information both the about both the direction and magnitude of an observer's error, so we can get a better understanding of the underlying mechanism. By the way, we use the orientation instead of the color as a remembered feature. Okay, now imagine you are the participants sitting in front of the screen. First of all, you will see three drops with red or green color, balanced between subjects. Use the red drops as an example. Now, you need to remember the orientation of the three red drops. After a delay, one of the three drops would reappear with a random orientation, and your task is to report the remembered orientation of the probed one by moving your mouse. After you confirm your answer, or the time extends 5 seconds, the correct answer will be presented by using a black line segment. And there are three conditions. In the encoding distraction condition, three green drops would appear and disappear along with the targets. While during the delay distraction condition, the distractors will appear on the screen after the targets disappear, that is, during the maintenance period. In the baseline condition, there are no distractors. Okay, now let's see the delay distraction demo as an example. You can, yeah. So, as for the data analysis, we calculated the difference between participants' reported orientation and the target one, and obtained a distribution response errors. We fed the data with a mixture model and get the guess rate and standard deviation to represent the fidelity of visual working memory. Then we performed a repeated ANOVA on both parameters among 3 conditions. As we can see, both the guess rate and standard deviation was significantly higher in the delay distraction condition than the other 2 conditions, while there is no difference between the encoding distraction condition and the no distraction condition. In the experiment 1b, we used the same procedure as experiment 1a, except that we shortened the encoding and delay time from 1000 milliseconds to 200 milliseconds. And we got the same results as experiment 1a. So, these results demonstrated that no matter with a long or short interval, distractors during the delay will interference both the probability and the fidelity of our visual working memory, while distractors appear at the encoding won't. Since we have found this interesting phenomenon, we want to figure out the underlying reason. We propose that if the distractors presented at the encoding, we can perform a sufficient suppression of them. So, if the distractors can be sufficiently suppressed, they won't be able to damage our visual working memory performance anymore. To test this possibility, we present the distractors throughout the encoding and delay time. The logic is, if the suppression hypothesis is correct, as long as the distractors appear at the encoding, subjects can perform enough suppression to them. So we would expect disappearance of the distraction effect in this full distraction condition. However, if the distraction effect originated from the maintenance period, the distractors will still interference our performance. And the results proved our suppression hypothesis, since in the full distraction condition, the distraction effect disappeared. In the next step, we want to test the suppression hypothesis in another way. We kept the distractors being presented on the screen both during encoding and delay as the experiment 2. But we destroyed the efficiency of suppression by using a less prominent pre-cue to distinguish the targets from distractors. Specifically, before the encoding period, participants first saw 3 circles briefly presented on the screen. Then the targets and distractors would appear with the same color. Jobs that showed the same location are targets, and the rest were distractors. The logic is, if the suppression process at encoding is not that sufficient, we would expect a distraction effect reappear in the same color condition. Let's see a demo of the same color condition. Okay, and the results again proved our suppression hypothesis, because in the same color condition, the distraction effect reappeared. As we have found a strong distraction effect at during the maintenance period, we wondered whether this effect was based on objects or location. To find out the answer, we modified the delay distraction condition by presenting the distractors at the same location as the targets during the maintenance. And the logic is, if the distraction effect is location-based, the interference would disappear in the same location condition. However, if it is object-based, the distraction effect would remain the same as the previous one. And the results show that it proved the object-based hypothesis. Since both in the same location and different location, we can see a significant distraction effect. Finally, we exclude an alternative explanation that argues the distraction effect might be caused by the sudden onset of the distractors during the delay. Since the abrupt appearance of distractors might capture participants' attention, leading to this decreased performance. So, we change the way of presenting the distractors into a gradual form, while keeping the rest as the same in experiment 4. And the results also remain the same as experiment 4, which can exclude this explanation. In summary, the first 3 experiments showed us the distraction-related costs existed during the delay, but not at the encoding. And this dissociated phenomenon was mainly because of the efficient suppression of the distractors at the encoding. In addition, we also found that the distraction effect was based on objects instead of locations. In addition, it cannot be explained by the sudden onset of the distractors during the delay. These results reveal that the visual distraction during maintenance is irresistible and particularly harmful to our object representations in visual working memory. Finally, thanks to my mentor, Dr. Xiaowei Ding. If you have any question, please contact us with this email address. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.